Right. Well, let's begin the afternoon's events. And we're going to start with the presentation of the awards that the British Association for Local History gives. There are various categories of award. There are awards for personal achievement. There are awards for articles. And we're going to see a video of some of the award winners, because although we have some award winners with us this afternoon, many of them are not with us, but we're going to see a video of them. So I'm going to hand over now to the filmmakers, and then we'll have the presented awards to a few people who are actually here and can receive them. Okay, thanks very much.
Cecil Amor is the founder chairman of Bridport History Society in Dorset, which has flourished under his guidance. Retiring from that role in its 20th anniversary in 2015, he is now the honorary president. He has contributed to nearly every issue of the Society's journal, researching and writing on a wide variety of subjects, including stone circles, Bridport's rope and net industry, Bridport Harbour, shipbuilding at West Bay, and Bridport Quakers. He's also an active member of the West Dorset group of the Somerset and Dorset Family History Society, where he has served as a committee member and chairman. He contributes monthly articles on local history for the Marshwood Vale magazine. Cecil was the first chairman of the Bridport Heritage Forum, established 20 years ago by West Dorset Research Centre and Bridport Museum, to promote and protect the heritage of Bridport and the surrounding area. Cecil is a valued and highly respected authority within the local community. Bridport History Society members are inordinately proud of what he has achieved, and he is an inspiration to them all.
Steve Cove has been the backbone of the Duddon Valley Local History Group throughout his membership. Amongst other activities, he set up and maintains the group's website and is involved in cataloguing the group's extensive archive, which is in the process of being digitised. Steve is also a member of the Lake District Archaeology Volunteer Network. He has made major contributions to researching the history of Duddon Valley and of the Lake District more widely. In particular, he has been involved in the Longhouse Project and Coniston Copper, involving local schools and inspiring children to investigate their local history, with both classroom programmes and on-site visits. In a very special project with the Wordsworth Trust and other collaborators, Steve shared his rich knowledge of the area to pinpoint locations related to Wordsworth's 33 sonnets, The River Duddon, which resulted in a highly successful multimedia exhibition centred on a map of the valley created by Steve. As a long-standing member of the Duddon and Furness Mountain Rescue Team, Steve has raised hundreds of pounds for them by giving talks on local history throughout the region.
Martin Green was one of the founders of the Warwickshire Industrial Archaeology Society in 1989 and has since, as chairman, provided consistent and enthusiastic leadership such that society has gone from strength to strength. An able administrator, Martin is also an excellent speaker who has a natural ability to communicate and to share his knowledge and enthusiasm. He has been the major contributor to the Society's web-accessible database of industrial archaeology sites in the county, and has set up and maintained the Society's newsletter and Facebook page to inform the widest audience. In 2019, he co-authored with Michael Jeffs in a joint project with Leamington History Group an original work, The Iron Men of Leamington. His own research is always rigorous and presented in a memorable way, earning him great respect for explaining complex matters in a straightforward way. It is tribute to his skill that one of his references comes from a former pupil who was inspired by Martin as a sixth form student and is now senior curator at a national museum.
Melvin Thompson has been central to the drive to protect Kidderminster's industrial heritage. His professional knowledge as a development engineer in the carpet industry, combined with his volunteer experience as company archivist, led to his involvement with plans to establish a museum of carpet, which opened in 2012. Melvin was a key member of the project team and its historical advisor. Within the museum's group of volunteers, he is invaluable to the Acquisition and Collections Committee and is consulted on research inquiries. He has researched and written 3 books on the carpet industry, as well as others on Kidderminster and Stourport Electric Tramway, weaving in Bridgnorth, and also St George's Church, Kidderminster. A recognised authority on the subject locally, nationally and worldwide, Melvin has given many talks, radio and television broadcasts and guided tours of the museum, always sharing his knowledge and passion with others. His involvement with the Kidderminster Civic Society, Wyre Forest Historical Research Group and the Heritage Opportunities Group also demonstrates his wider enthusiasm for local history.
Research and Publications Awards have been operating since the beginning of the century, and we have a long experience of judging and assessing the contributions which come in. We look at Heather Falvey, our reviews editor, looks at all of the articles in the journals and newsletters which come to her during the year and selects a shortlist from which we choose the winners. We divide it into a long article section and a short article section to reflect the different categories in individual publications. This year, the overall winner in the Long Article Awards is Andy Ford, whose paper Essex Sessions of the Peace and the Peasants' Revolt appeared in the Transactions of the Essex Society for Archaeology and History. We thought it was an exemplary paper, investigating the challenging sources of the 14th century and looking at a celebrated national event in its local dimension. It takes the generally overlooked records of the Sessions of the Peace and identifies and investigates 17 local men as likely insurgents. But it also highlights the role of the jurors drawn from village elites who also participated in attacks on that same judicial system which they were part of, potentially even forming a network which organised the rising. The runner-up was Diana Caldecott, whose paper George Barnes of Andover, 1758 to 1832, Enclosure Commissioner, was published in the Look Back at Andover Journal of the Andover History and Archaeology Society. Much has been written about enclosure, its motivation, physical and social impact, and its legal consequences, but much less attention has been paid to the commissioners who were responsible for overseeing and implementing the enclosure procedures and process. In this paper, the life and career of Warwickshire-born George Barnes, one of the most significant such men, he worked on 62 different enclosure cases, is explored in the context of his work in Andover, where he settled and became a leading member of the corporation and central to the town's affairs. John Harris, in his paper Georgetown Girls, A History of the Scottish Shell Filling Factory, 1915 to 1918, from Scottish Local History, gives a paper which tells the story of the female munitions workers at the Scottish National Filling Factory, established at Erskine in Renfrewshire in the autumn and winter of 1915. It was named after Lloyd George, Georgetown. It joins the existing corpus of research and publication about these vital components of the war effort and highlights the employment structure and working conditions. And the overall output, which is absolutely astonishing, almost 19 million shells, 27 million cartridges, and over 32 million other explosive components were produced in the factory over this 3-year period. And then finally, in the long article section, Jane Wheeler wrote The Mouse That Got Away, an act of militant activism during the Votes for Women campaign, Bradford, 1913, which appeared in the Bradford Antiquary. The history of women's suffrage and its local dimension has been a topic of great interest for some years now. In this paper, Jane focuses on the activities of a woman variously called Irene Eleanor or Eileen Casey, who came from Kew in West London, who was arrested in Bradford in 1913 with a local woman, Kathleen Holton, for setting fire to letterboxes. The trial at the Quarter Sessions resulted in Casey, a well-known militant incendiarist, being imprisoned, but the local woman, Kathleen Holton, was acquitted. She was the mouse that got away. In all these cases, we felt that the papers were extremely well researched, they were very well put together, and they gave examples which could potentially be followed by people looking at the same sort of topics in their own areas. In the short award winners category, the winner was Wesley Henderson Rowe, whose paper Chiswick High Road, A Retail Revelation, appeared in the Brentford and Chiswick Local History Journal. The paper is based on a remarkable survey of the retail businesses on Chiswick High Road, which was carried out in 1936 by the author's father for his own edification. Wesley analyses the situation in 1936, the mix of types of shops and business premises, and compares this with the position in 2020 to reveal the transformation of the high road, the revolution in retailing, and the profound impact of these changes on the local history of the area. We felt this was a fascinating article based on a uniquely informative but very specific source, unique to the family of the author. Mavis Curtis, in Setting Up Home in 1933, from the Huddersfield Local History Society Journal, like Wesley Henderson Rowe, was able to use a personal document, something from her own archive. In this case, the bills and other paperwork, which was kept by the author's mother concerning her wedding at the Church of St. Mary in Elland in 1933. It provides an exceptional and perhaps unique portrait of the costs, organisation and arrangements of an ordinary wedding in the mid-1930s in a northern industrial area. It's been meticulously analysed and explained with the irreplaceable benefit of insider knowledge. It's the sort of paper that makes one wish that one's own family had been so careful about keeping their records, keeping their documents, preserving an archive. Bob Chowne's paper, Black Lives Mattered in 18th Century Wood Church, appeared in the wonderfully named Scuppets and Scutchel, the Journal of the Wood Church Ancestry Group in Kent. Most research on Black people in 18th century Britain either aggregates the evidence or focuses on major communities. In this paper, though, Bob Chowne has researched Francis, the son of Thomas Lewis from Barbados, usually termed in contemporary records the Blackamoor, who was baptized in this Kent village in 1743. He traces entries in the overseer's records relating to the birth of the child and the lying in of the mother, and perhaps unexpectedly was able to track payments for clothing the boy and other necessities for his parents over a period of 8 more years, building up a picture of one family, one distinctive family in that small community. The paper concludes, "It is heartening to see the support offered to them during their time in the village, travellers with no connection to Woodchurch or qualifications that would allow them to remain, but whose lives mattered enough to be given every opportunity to stay. And finally, Roger Packham produced a wonderful paper, Through Coulsdon on a Globe, The Amazing Mademoiselle Florence, which was published in Local History Records, the Journal of the Bourne Society. This paper recounts the exploits of the American globe walker and acrobat, Mademoiselle Florence, who in mid-June 1903 walked, balanced on a 26-inch diameter globe, from Westminster to Brighton in 39 hours, despite exhaustion, a possible sprained ankle, and in the course of the journey, wearing out 7 pairs of shoes. She passed through Coulsdon, amongst other places, and photographs and newspaper reports record the event for posterity. It seems, I think, that no subject, however eccentric and obscure, is beyond the reach of local history.
Quarterly newsletter of the Chadderton Historical Society is called The Griffin. The reason for this name is deeply embedded in the area's local history. Indeed, the Griffin has been associated with Chadderton since the mid-13th century. It comes from the arms of the Trafford family, who took possession of the manor of Chadderton and Foxdenton, adopted the name of the township, and formed the Chadderton family. 2 griffins are portrayed on the Chadderton coat of arms, and 2 are also used to support Oldham's coat of arms. The griffin comprises a single page of coloured A4, crammed on both sides with information about the local history of Chadderton. It opens with a comment by the editor on current topic, such as town centre renewal or political dynamism to electoral lethargy. The contrast between struggles to gain universal suffrage and the current low turnouts at local elections. Next are several long-running series, such as Notable Lords of the Manor of Chadderton and Foxdenton and It's a Fact. These are strange but true facts, such as Chadderton Council owned a tramway system for the shortest period possible, a split second at midnight on the 9th of August 1925. Relevant birthday and wedding anniversary greetings are sent to members. Obituaries are given. Other articles might include interesting or unusual newspaper reports from over 100 years ago and details of archive material received. This lively newsletter keeps members informed about the past and the present in an engaging way.
Well, this is just to say that we've got some of our award winners are here today, and we want to actually see them and give them awards. So I don't think we have two of our Outstanding Individual Achievement Award winners. The first one of those is Stephen Cove, who's come from Cumbria. Are you here, Stephen? Yeah. Right, well done.
I came all this way hoping the streets would be paved with gold for the mountain rescue team. I've not even found a penny.
Yes.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, you should get a cat.
A cat.
Because of the streets being paved with gold.
All right, you need both. Thank you. Local knowledge.
Yes. Okay. And the next we have Martin Green from Warwickshire. Is Martin here? Yeah, good. Quite a test walking up the stairs. Yes.
Oh, man like me.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you very much indeed.
That's good.
Very flattered and very
Good.
good to
You're
see you.
pleased?
Absolutely delighted.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then of our 8 article award winners, we've got 2 of them here today, I'm glad to say. The first is Bob Chown from Kent. Bob, are you here? Would you come and... You can make your... Right. I'll tell you what, we'll save you walking up the side. I'll give it to you over here. Is that all right? Yes. Well, I'm a bit tired of walking up and down the stairs. Well done. And finally, but not least, we have Roger Packham. Is Roger? Right. Right. Congratulations.
Very much indeed.
Right. I don't know whether there's something about the fact that they were all men. I wonder about that. But that doesn't matter. I know, and when we chose the 4 award winners for the Outstanding Individual Achievement, I don't know what's, anyway, next year we should have perhaps a different, what should I say, range. Anyway, thank you all very much. Well done to all our prize winners. Please send in your contributions and support people for these awards. It's really stimulating, exciting to read what people have done. So thank you very much. And we have a break now, briefly, for some refreshments, and come back in half an hour, perhaps, to hear our final speaker. Thank you very much.